Okay, this is my little food finder demonstration. Food finder you can find when you add a meal. So what you notice here first is you have the ability to enable it right here. When you turn that on, you get a new bar and you can search for simple foods like apples, and that looks out at the USDA food data database. The other thing you can do is you have a barcode scanner. So let's scan this product here. And this is looking up this peanut butter bar, which shows you 15 grams of carbs. It automatically puts the amount consumed at the top for input so that you know exactly what you will have to dose for. And then you just hit continue, and it's just normal like that. Okay, but the really cool thing here is we'll cancel this, go back here, and this is the little AI button. I'm going to scan a picture I already have in here. We'll just pick one. Let's do apple pie. And it's scanning the apple pie picture and trying to determine what the content is on the plate. And when it's done analyzing it, it's sending this data out to either OpenAI or Gemini or Anthropic, depending on what you like to use. And here, see, it says, okay, I got a slice of pie, about a 9-inch pie. It's showing you what it estimates around 37 grams of carbs. And then it'll give you more detail about where the fat and fiber and protein is. And it'll tell you about the portions that it thinks it sees. And it'll give you any diabetic notes that might apply. So let's try a different one. Let's just do like a normal meal here. We'll do a meal picture of this one. And so you got some veggies, you got some chicken, you got some broccoli, some rice, some tomatoes. So what it tries to do is not only assess what's on the plate, but how big the portions are. It compares the portions to standard USDA portions and tries to tell you, hey, I think you may be having like 2 portions of rice or whatever in there. So, okay, so it thinks this whole meal is 36 grams. And so you wonder, well, wait a minute, this is chicken and veggies. Where's 36 grams coming from? So you click the food details expander, and now you can see, okay, there's 4 items on this plate that it senses. The chicken, of course, has 0 grams of carbs. A quinoa, though, it's going to bring about 20 grams of carbs. It thinks there's 1 serving there. And then it thinks there's 1 serving of steamed broccoli, about 6 grams of carbs, and 10 grams through the mixed veggies. Now, here's what's also cool. Let's say you are given a plate of food at a restaurant, and you don't want the quinoa or the French fries or whatever. You hit the little red mark there to delete it, and it will automatically adjust the carbs that it thinks you need for that meal minus the quinoa or minus the broccoli. I don't like broccoli, so let's get rid of the broccoli as well. Delete 6 grams of carbs there. So now I brought my meal back down to 10. So what's cool about it is it gives you a lot of information about what it thinks it sees. It shares with you its opinion about the size of the portions and the serving count that you're about to consume. And then if it detects something like a high glycemic index type of food or anything that might be sensitive to time to absorb, it will tell you that in the diabetic notes, and then it will also adjust the absorption time accordingly. So pretty cool. Now, if you want to go and look at the settings for these, you can see the Food Finder settings here. Well, actually, let me go back to the main settings, and there is this food search option. And so you can enable it or disable it. I've added GPT-5 modes, but I wouldn't use those right now. They're experimental. And here is where you can pick the different providers. So for AI, you can choose OpenAI, you can choose Google, you can choose Anthropic Claude. I have found OpenAI to be the most accurate. And then you can use a fast mode or a standard mode, depending on how long you can patiently wait for it to analyze the food on your plate. And the longer it takes, the better it does. And then you just enter your keys for all of these different providers there, and that's it. Pretty cool. And it does not interfere with any dosing. It doesn't interfere with any regular use of loop. It is all just before you enter carbs, which we've all been doing manually. And so the coolest thing about this is it gives you important nutritional education along the way, brings it right there where you need it at the moment that you're about to enter your food count or your carb count. And it puts a barcode food library and a diabetic nutritionist right in your pocket. I hope everybody likes this.